In the first century, the world was dominated by the heavy machinery of the Roman Empire and a highly structured, rigid, religious elite. It was an era obsessed with status, architecture, and control. To be heard, to have any influence, a person was expected to navigate the marble halls of power, wear the finest clothes, and play the political game. The story begins not in the desert, but in the heart of the establishment. John was actually born into the elite religious class. His father Zechariah was a priest who served inside the magnificent, towering temple of Jerusalem, a place of marble, gold, and highly orchestrated rituals. By all societal expectations, John was supposed to inherit that comfortable, powerful position. He was supposed to put on the fine robes, walk the polished floors, and become part of the machinery. Instead, he turned his back on all of it. John walked away from the wealth, the architecture, and the political safety of the city and disappeared into the Judean wilderness. This was a brutal, unforgiving landscape of scorched rocks, deep ravines, and blistering heat. He traded fine linen for a rough garment woven of coarse camel's hair, tied with a simple leather belt. Rather than feasting at banquet tables, he survived on the rawest elements of the earth, locusts and wild honey. His physical existence became a living protest against a society that prioritized status, comfort, and systemic power over human conscience. In the silence of the wasteland, John's voice grew into a roar. He began preaching at the banks of the muddy Jordan River, and a profound cultural shockwave took place. The people, exhausted by the hypocrisy of their leaders and the crushing weight of the Roman occupation, began pouring out of the cities. They walked 4 miles into the scorching heat just to hear a man who spoke with absolute, unvarnished truth. The crowds were massive and diverse. Poor laborers, wealthy tax collectors, and even heavily armed Roman soldiers stood side by side in the mud. John demanded radical empathy and service from all of them. He told the crowds, anyone who has 2 shirts should share with the one who has none. He told the tax collectors to stop cheating people, and he looked the Roman soldiers in the eye and told them to stop extorting the vulnerable. He was actively dismantling the systems of greed and abuse, replacing them with a model of mutual care. When the religious elite, the Pharisees and Sadducees, came out to the desert in their flowing, pristine robes, expecting to be treated with deference, John refused to bow to their status. He called them a brood of vipers, warning them that their titles and lineage meant nothing if their actions lacked genuine love and humility. John became a phenomenon. He held the hearts of the masses. He had the kind of influence that men wage wars to achieve. And then, Jesus of Nazareth walked down to the water's edge. This is the defining moment of John's conscience. Standing at the absolute zenith of his fame, surrounded by thousands of followers who hung on his every word, John did the unthinkable for a man in power. He voluntarily stepped aside. He pointed to Jesus and told his own disciples to leave him and follow this new teacher. When asked why he was letting his own influence fade, John offered the ultimate manifesto of a servant's heart. He must increase, but I must decrease. He harbored no jealousy, no ego, and no desire to cling to his platform. He understood that true greatness is found in lifting others up, not elevating oneself. But a conscience that pure cannot exist in a corrupt world without conflict. John's refusal to compromise eventually brought him into a fatal collision with the ultimate symbol of worldly machinery. Herod was a man who possessed absolute military and political authority, living in a fortified palace of unimaginable luxury. Yet, he was morally hollow, having corruptly taken his own brother's wife Herodias, while the rest of the kingdom stayed silent out of fear. John publicly condemned the king's actions. John had no armor, no legal team, and no weapons. He had only the truth.